Hello, and welcome to Dragon Ball Speak, a show where we summarize and review each episode of Dragon Ball Z, 3 episodes at a time, and we rate them each on a scale of 1 to 7 stars. I'm one of your hosts, Brandon.
I went right in your mouth. Mommy? Sometimes eating candy is bad. It's not good for you. I'm Wesley, and I'm miserable.
And this is Dragon Ball Speak, the show where we talk about incredible fighting candy.
Yeah. Sometimes I need to look into the science of this. I don't know if I know how to make graphs anymore, but I imagine that there is a trend between when we miss weeks and when the show is good. But
Oh, there's a trend. There's a trend.
I am not happy.
I wasn't super looking forward to this trio of episodes, particularly because one of the three is...
Particularly?
I can't say it too fast or else it sounds like I had a stroke.
Particularly?
See?
Particularly.
Yeah. Not so big, not such a big man now, are you? This is our first full filler episode since episode 203.
Really? 273?
So it's been 70 episodes
What's
since
the
we've
name
had
of it?
filler. The Innards of Boo.
Oh,
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Which is funny because throughout the episode I was like, these hijinks are kind of fun, but the dialogue seems like really off. And now I remember.
I was not having any fun, and I'm going to
Really?
retroactively change my score now.
You didn't think it was like...
One star lower than what I gave
You ever
it.
played Kingdom Hearts 1 and you're in Monstro?
Mm-hmm. That's like
One of the
my least
worst
favorite levels for sure.
One of the worst.
Like-
What about Magic School Bus?
I mean, what's her name? Miss Frizz or Frizzle? Yeah, I mean, she's a baddie, but like,
Frizz?
there's that episode where they go into their classmate's butthole
I think it's Carlos.
to get his hemorrhoids out or something. Yeah.
Yeah, that is why. But good news is we have, 18 more episodes to watch, and only one of them is filler.
We have another filler.
One more.
I assume probably the next one.
No.
Really?
No.
How the hell are we going to get out of this one?
It's in the 280s. So, like, the fact that they got absorbed is not filler. Just the episode was filler.
Well, then I don't even
Of them,
blame,
like, being in the stomach and, like, being...
I don't even blame the filler artists and the filler writers because
fighting the green little blobbies.
they got set up with the dumbest shit. So
Okay.
they actually, I'm gonna give that episode. I'm gonna retroactively change my score to a plus. It's gonna be one of the highest rated episodes because, you know what? It's not their fault. They don't deserve the heat.
They do deserve the heat.
No,
Thank you.
Toriyama deserves the heat.
Well, he didn't do that. It's filler.
He set them up to get in there. They're working with what the legend gave him. He gave him dog shit.
Thank you real quick to our Patreon supporters, Brian Kosmala, Raipato1992, and Aiden Wable. Once again, as always, thank you for supporting us. Really means a lot.
Means the world.
They're our favorites. You know what I say? You know what content creators say? No, you're not supposed to like play favorites. Well, they're our favorites.
Yeah, they are.
Sorry to everyone else. That's just kind of how it works.
Oh, also in our favorites is I forget his name, Clay.
Yes, that is a legend.
I don't remember the full YouTube name, but Clay's a legend. Clay's in there.
Every episode we get the best comment. The best part of uploading our episodes is that we get to read Clay's comments.
Yeah, I agree.
And Raipato. There's always some good commentary there. Anyway, so let's go. Let's rewind to Vegito Downsized. This is our first one, episode 271. So King Yemma is enjoying the pay-per-view of the fight. A lot more King Yemma in these episodes than I think I anticipated.
Yeah.
A little too much, perhaps.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is also the first time we got a flashback within a flashback, but that was next episode.
Dragon Ball Zception.
Written and directed by Christopher Nolan.
I would watch it.
Is he the one who did Inception? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
You never seen Inception?
No, I still haven't.
Yeah, that's pretty wild.
Yeah, let's watch it.
You would like it a lot.
So they're by the ocean, and Majin Buu's just standing there, and the water's rolling by, and luckily for these next 2 episodes, at least they both looked really good, unlike the last couple that we reviewed. But yeah, there's some good action. He blocks a punch over the ocean, and he's mostly messing with Majin Buu, which now we know why, but we'll get to that. He like blasted him, and he has his head tail, and they're like, and he's like, and he's like, and then he's like, and then he throws it back at him. The head tail. I keep calling
it
that
back at him.
Yeah, he throws that shit back, and he does it well. But then he explodes it, and when you're getting something thrown back on you,
explosions happen,
and they can't be predicted sometimes. And then Majin Buu's like, "Why'd you do that?" I don't know why he got mad, because he can just grow it back.
I know they made it like a big moment, and even I like kind of fell for it, and then I was like, "Oh yeah, no, he can just like grow back."
Maybe it's like, oh, maybe this is the secret. He actually physically was able to destroy some of his particles.
Nope.
I don't want to say cells, because then it just sounds like cell again.
Because get to see a little come out of his bigger.
I gotta say, most of the times when he's regenerating, it looks really cool. Like I love like you can tell the animators like had fun with like his physics.
Yeah, I agree. The side note, when you mess up a word and then you like you get like sad for like a second, you always go
because I feel like I didn't used to be this way. And now I struggle to speak.
It's been busy days, months.
Now I struggle to speak. Years, some might say. I struggle to speak. I really do. Maybe there's like a blockage that I'm not sure that I know about.
Sometimes we get coffee before episodes, and sometimes we don't. And
today we did not.
Yeah. Instead, you got a caffeine-free Sprite, winter spiced cranberry.
Not a fan.
It's I thought it was the cranberry Sprite that they bring out every year, which is delicious. But
no, it's
I realized it's a spiced cranberry.
I don't want that.
And it's not good the second it starts to get warm.
I think there's some cardamom in there.
Yeah, I could see that.
Some nutmeg, perhaps.
There's definitely nutmeg.
That wasn't even that funny, but that just cracked me up. Okay, so yeah, they're fighting. It looks good. He's doming, as they say, Torettoing, as some others say. He's too arrogant. The Kais are getting frustrated.
Yeah, I'd be getting frustrated too. In fact, I was.
Right, and then, well, we'll get to it. Boo does his own kamikaze attack. I know you love the kamikaze attacks. Mm-hmm. We decided to bring out a couple more just for you.
I know. I love that there was one and then another. I think that's really cool. I also love that the kamikaze ghosts can now Kamehameha with like special heat-seeking variants on it.
They can, yes.
I think it's actually really sick. And yeah, I love that only Goten and Trunks do that.
Also, it's one of Gotenks' techniques, which technically they're not fused in him anymore.
Yeah, but come on, dude. You're asking the wrong.
I'm not asking. I'm just
saying the wrong thing.
I'm just saying.
Do you think Toriyama thought about that?
I don't think that Toriyama had him do a ghost kamikaze attack. I think the anime decided to throw that in there.
Yeah, why wouldn't you? It's the coolest move ever. It's so cool and sick, and we should just keep doing it over and over.
See, yeah, I get it. I was gonna like do a little bit of defending, but I decided not to. What did he call the 5-finger blast that he did on those? He said something blast or something move.
I didn't write it down.
When he like did the 5 fingers and then blew up the kamikazes.
I do not recall. I was writing a note about how I hate the kamikaze attacks at that moment. Side note, my left nostril is really itchy. Got a zit coming in there, so if you see me the whole episode just doing a lot of this, it's because I did lines of cocaine.
several lines. If we did lines of cocaine before this, I think we'd have more viewers.
I don't even know if this, maybe, but not with this trio. I think I'd still be just as down if I was on cocaine. Hopefully YouTube doesn't care if we talk about drugs.
See, these first 2 episodes that we watched actually had really good action in them. So I enjoyed watching them.
This first one was fine. The next one I have a lot of problems with. And then the next one.
Like conceptually? 5-finger blast. They do the Kamehameha. The other ones do the Gallic gun. And Vegito's like, oh no. And then he blows up. And then Majin Buu's like, yeah, I got him finally. And then Vegito turns out instant transmission on the other side of him.
Oh, yeah, that's right. And he's also like, oh, Gallic gun. Where'd you get that?
What's up with them and like giving fusions like cringy behavior and dialogue? Because he's like, instant transmission. It's the only way to travel.
Oh my god!
I'm just like, what are you doing?
It was bad.
What are you doing that for?
I wrote, I dislike how Goku and Vegeta are acting, and then I circled it, and it's not.
It's just not.
It's not them.
No, and it's also like not cool. Like it should be a combination of their personalities and like one voice.
It's like a caricature version of Vegeta, and then a Goku who's not fighting back at all against Vegeta's lesser great tendencies. Like Goku would not be doing this toying around shit. Vegeta might be, but even if he was, he wouldn't be doing it like this. His toying around would be like a show of strength, not like a way to say some quips.
But we learn, luckily, well, next episode, real quick, we using feet. Oh yeah, he was only using his feet, which the games, it's interesting, took that concept and ran, because like for most of Vegito's combos in, I think like Fighters, or really all the like the old Budokai games or whatever, he mostly has his arms crossed and is kicking, which makes him feel unique.
I didn't notice that, but that's cool.
Well, he said.
He said I didn't.
Yeah.
I just thought it was like.
Well, I mean, it's not like it was like a short thing.
Yeah, that's cool.
It just stuck out to me because of that. Yeah, we get a bunch of afterlife shit, which is in fact filler, where they're looking for Gohan a lot for like 3 to 4 minutes, and then Videl talks for about 1 minute about how she doesn't think Gohan's dead, excuse me. And they turn him into a candy. Boo turns him into a candy, guys. What'd you write down as your theory?
Probably some Mr. Satan bullshit or Supreme Kai fuck shit up. Neither of which were right. And I wish that either of those had happened. I would have taken some Mr. Satan bullshit, because what happens next I am so deeply confused about.
I gave it a 5 out of 7.
I give it a 4 out of 7.
I think I would probably adjust it to a 4. Perhaps. The action's really good. It's super fun to watch. Like the episode is at least fun to watch.
Yeah.
Even if there's some not so great qualities to it. Episode 200, anything else from that episode for you?
Nope.
Episode 272, The Incredible Fighting Candy. We got to it. We arrived. Okay. I'm not a big fan of the old silly things.
Well, before that though, they teed up. They're teasing a Krillin Yamcha team up, and I was getting pretty hype. I also wrote that there's no way they pull it off, but
we're at the point now where like it sucks, because like even with Cell, you could be like maybe they'll like be able to hold him off.
Yeah, but now there's just
we're so much exponentially past that it's like not even worth entertaining.
Yeah, and not to spoil anything, but like our best characters are unable to hear a giant piece of bubble gum and wrapping them, so there's no way Krillin and Yamcha would last long. All Boo's got to do is shoot out his little stuff, and it's the end of our characters.
Okay, there's a piece that you're missing here, which is that they got absorbed on purpose.
I did miss that. Really?
They didn't say it. They did say it. They did eventually say it.
I thought that
they said, "Oh, this better work," and then they did a barrier, and they were like, "Sweet, the barrier worked." And then they're like, "We have to find everybody."
I missed the barrier part. I do remember them saying, "Oh, this better work," but I thought they were about to do a move to like shoot out of it.
Yeah, but remember, they were like, "Oh, weird. Why isn't his clothes changing?"
That's right. I did remember that.
I know you caught it. I'm just assuming that you assumed they got like lucky when it was actually a plan. Which is why they were toying with Boo the whole time.
That changes my thoughts a little bit.
Yeah, it was intentional. It's still a little obnoxious, but it was intentional. Because they, you got to assume they don't want to blast Boo to smithereens and dust if they think their friends are still alive inside him. In him, they're deep in him. They're in there so deep that they found a worm.
We'll get there.
But, yeah, we get the Krillin and Yamcha stuff, which is, whatever. Which, if they think their friends are still alive in there, but we're seeing their friends in the afterlife, doesn't really add up.
What are we supposed to be following,
We get a cool shot, though. Start off with a cool shot where it's like a black screen, and we see this, like, reflective ray circle, and then zoom, and it turns out it's actually the candy, reflecting a tremendous amount of light. Like I said, these episodes were well animated. The first two were. And he says, I'm a jawbreaker, the strongest type of candy.
Miserable. Terrible. I don't want it.
Yeah, he's holding the candy, and then he punches himself in the face, and he's like, what in the... And then everyone watching is like, whoa, he's still in there.
It's like a, and no hate to, like, I guess movies that have done this, but it's like a Disney movie or something where, like, the character's, like, not in control of their hand, and they're doing, like, the...
Yeah.
Dodging their hand, except it's a piece of candy. And why are they able to control the candy?
Correct. Why are they able to speak?
What? Yeah, like
that was actually a reference. Believe it or not, the candy speaking was a reference to Dragonball speak.
Oh, I forgot we were going to reveal that.
Yeah,
finally.
Yeah, finally.
Cat's out of the bag. We are Toriyama.
Yep, we've been brewing this one for a while.
Like 20 years almost.
Probably a little more than that. Yeah.
Maybe before we were born. Depending on if this scene was in the manga or not, but
it is in the manga. Yeah. So I wrote at least it's well animated. The candy more or less is bouncing around and beating him up like a little bullet, and it's fun to watch for me.
It's fine to watch. Yeah, I just hate that like it doesn't like. Yeah, it's just so tough to criticize the Boo Saga these days because I'm like, I don't know how much lower can we go, and then they take me. Lower.
I'm fairly certain that the lowest is behind us, but I've said that before. I've said it before, so
we'll see.
Do you think it'll end like good? Do you think it'll come back and like be a good?
No, I don't even care if we get like an Avengers fight type thing where they all come back in the home.
Even if it looks really cool.
I'll be cool. I'll be hype in the moment, but I have to let myself not get excited.
Yeah.
You know, it's like
funny to me.
I have to.
Oh my god!
It's like in we haven't done this in a minute. Let's bring up some Star Wars. It's like in Rise of Skywalker when you hear all the cool voices of Star Wars past. It's hype, but you gotta not let it scare the crap out of you. You gotta not let yourself get too excited about it because you gotta remember that the rest of the movie is bad.
So my thing with that part is that it still sucked. It was like 1% exciting, but I'm like, why the hell aren't the Force ghosts there?
I was about to
Where's
say,
Hayden?
It could have been better with actual Force ghosts, but
why was there never a communication between Anakin's Force ghost, which we saw at the end of Revenge of the Sith, and Luke Skywalker, who lost his way?
No, you mean Return of the Jedi.
Whatever. I don't care what movie. Return of the Jedi, Force ghost. What's up with why does that tell me why that makes sense? Because there's no logical explanation. You can't explain it. You can't. Yoda came back and said something to him. Page turners, they were not.
Thanks,
That's a
JJ.
quote. That's a quote from The Last Jedi.
Yeah.
I watched it
though.
I watched it.
I like that scene. Not that line though.
Oh, I didn't mind that line. I didn't mind the scene.
Fine.
The problem with the scene is that now we know, there is a serious, interesting tidbit here. Yoda, Master Yoda, you may have heard of him, summoned Force lightning to destroy a tree. Mm-hmm. So now there is, in universe, there is a way for the Force ghosts to interact with the real world, which we had never seen before. Were that the case this entire time, why don't all of the Force ghosts help kill the Sith or do really anything? Turns out they can just summon lightning and destroy stuff.
Well,
so why can't they?
Yoda is a G, and the rest of them are bitches.
I actually did forget about that.
Yeah, that's a really critical part to the theory.
Wesley here likes Luke Skywalker's characterization in The Last Jedi.
I do.
We're gonna lose viewers because of that. Like this is like our like what is it whenever someone like says it turns out they tweeted something like 10 years ago.
I'm getting canceled.
I guess you're getting canceled, and now they're not gonna be able to support us anymore. I don't even know how I can support us anymore.
I like his characterization. I think it's different. and I'm cool with it.
It's
I
different.
don't need
It's
Luke-
different because it's a different character.
No, I don't think Luke needs to be the same person he was. The Luke that would go and put himself on an island away from the Jedi, away from the Resistance, the Luke that no longer wants to help is that Luke.
Yeah, but JJ set him up for trash. I'm not only blaming Rian Johnson. There has to be a reason that he's on the island. What is the reason? JJ Abrams never came up with the goddamn reason.
Well, then blame
but which sure, he's 10% at fault.
You wanted Rian Johnson to be like, all right, Luke's actually just same old
I would
Luke,
have
and he's
preferred
just
it.
gonna be
I would have preferred it.
He's
gonna
Luke's
be
just
like,
gonna be like,
oh,
I've
thanks.
just been mad chilling on
I
this
got
island.
lost. I got lost, and my X-wing is broken.
His X-wing is not broken. It works.
Well, maybe in this script it's broken because it's stupid. It's better. That would be better than massacring one of the most iconic characters in all of pop culture.
I don't think it's a massacre. I also think his arc ends like beautifully. The fight with
really
Kylo,
because he doesn't do shit.
The Force fight against Kylo, he lets the Resistance live another day. The Resistance,
all 10 of them.
Yeah, the Resistance was going to be done, and then Kylo and his First Order would have won, if it not for Luke fending off.
I wish
Kylo.
they would have. I wish they would have. I wish.
Here's the thing: Rian Johnson is the animators and the writers for Episode 273. They had to work with what they were given. Who is the real villain? It's J.J. Abrams and it's Toriyama. It's J.J. setting up Luke on being a hermit, and it's Toriyama making these characters that we love go Kingdom Hearts and inside the innards of Boo. It's not fair. You blame the villain, and that is J.J. Abrams, who we all learned was the villain when Episode 9 came out, and now Toriyama. He's in his villain arc.
Somehow, Star Wars discussion returned.
It had been a minute. I could tell we had bottled it up. Man.
That's a subtle reference to Poe Dameron, his famous quote, "Somehow Palpatine returned."
Yeah.
The dead speak.
They fly now.
They fly now. Writers or watchers in the comments to go ahead and write what you would have done with Episode 8. Luke is on an island. How do we explain this?
You could do a really cool script after Episode 8, and J.J. Abrams did not.
The Colin Trevorrow script was a lot cooler than J.J. Abrams' script. I read it. I read a summary.
Yeah.
But
Duel of the Fates.
Yeah. And I bet they would have used the song too.
Yeah.
It's a jawbreaker. It's a jawbreaker. It's a jawbreaker. Oh god, they get absorbed.
Well, hold on. They go into like his mouth. They put themselves in there, and then Vegito says, "I went right in your mouth," and I think that's just funny. And then Boo didn't eat them. They escaped.
You know what that reminds me of? A quick aside. Whenever he blew through his mouth, through the back of his throat, it reminds me, I keep reading on Twitter that the dentist can tell if you've gotten deep-throated recently. Because apparently there's bruising on the back of your throat.
Oh, really?
Yes.
That's pretty far back, though. That's at least 5 to 6 inches on an average human being.
Not everyone, unfortunately. I'd love to know someday. But anyway, what were you saying? King Yum?
Yeah, so basically they get. Did we already talk about how they get out of the
candy? No.
Okay.
He zaps him back.
And then what does Vegito say?
Mommy? It's literally like the Starbucks breast milk mommy TikToks.
It's so stupid. Why would they ever say that? Vegeta has never mentioned his mother or caring about her. And the same goes for Goku. I don't even know if Goku knows who his mother is. Why would they say mommy? And why would he say it so like, feed me breast milk, mommy? There's no reason. I get that it's like, we just came out of a shell type thing, but like.
No, I think it's just like he was scared for a second. It's
so
like, whoa, what just happened?
Saying mommy?
Like a Marvel, like a MCU. Wait, what the heck just happened?
Should have been like a Bardock?
I want that sound, like that sound clip. Yeah, they count to 10. This is them trying to get absorbed because they purposely spirit sorted through Boo's mouth, detached his head tail antenna, and then was like, I'm going to count to 10, and then gave Boo the opportunity to come up with the plan to absorb them. Barriered, got absorbed, they're absorbed. So if you barrier the gum, how is it that you shrink down to the microscopic size? See, the thing is, I don't like silly stuff. And then you also have to, there's too much hand waving like Boo is magic. I get that Boo is magic. I understand that. That doesn't mean I enjoy a jawbreaker / coffee candy. Oh, and then Supreme Kai is like, no, Dende is like, why would he do coffee candy? Dende, you're a failure of a guardian. You're 5 feet tall, sometimes 2 feet tall, depending on the animator's decision that day. You just got ratioed.
Boom. I like that the coffee candy had 2 little like orange reflections. Like, oh, that's
earrings?
Goku and Vegeta.
Oh.
Or the earrings. Yeah, it could be anything.
I didn't notice that.
Yeah,
that's that's very astute.
2 little thingies in that coffee thingy.
That's very succinct.
Thank you.
Boo celebrates. I gave it a 4 out of 7 because it was fun to watch. It probably deserves a 3.
2 out of 7. I did not like the candy stuff. Onward.
Yeah.
Bad. Now tell me about our boys Gokozzy and Drixeta.
You're going to have to explain.
Gokozzy and Drixeta.
And Drixeta.
Ozzy and Drix?
Oh my God.
Yeah.
See, I wrote down Monstro, and then I thought of Magic Treehouse, but yours is way better.
Gokozzy and Drixeta.
What is the show called? Osmosis Jones?
Yeah. The movie came first, I think, with Bill Murray.
See, that's funny.
Super sick.
That's funny because I always watched the show, and then one day I watched the movie, perhaps because I'm of the younger crowd.
You didn't watch the movie like every year in class? In one of the classes? We watched it so much.
Osmosis Jones, man. They don't ever talk about that.
There's a straight
Is that Disney Channel original?
No, it's I think it's DreamWorks. There's a straight up Pokemon.
There's a Pikachu. Yeah, I've seen it. Yeah.
Okay. He's already seen it.
I've seen the Pikachu.
Wow, okay, cool.
It's a reference to Pikachurin. It's something in the human body named after a Pokemon. For reals.
I wonder if they got in trouble. Can you just put Pikachu in anything you want?
Maybe they got permission.
Doubt it.
Pokemon doesn't really
care what things look
care
like.
about their brand. They're not really too worried about PR.
Gokozzy and Drixeta. Here are my notes. Ozzy and Drix, Gokozzy and Drixeta. I hate this. This is just a stupid way to write themselves out of the permanent Patara fusion. What the hell is this show?
Okay. How about that? How about the fact that as soon as they let down their barrier, they're like, the permanent fusion, all stakes are gone. The permanent fusion is no longer permanent.
I was like, this is, yeah, we had
That's
to do
the only
this.
part that isn't filler.
Yeah, of course. So stupid. I remember when we were talking about, you asked me, how do you think they're going to like get around this permanent fusion?
They just do.
Episodes ago, and I was like, I really don't know. And I never would have guessed that they would get inside the innards of Boo's bowels, and that would the earrings would just come off.
They didn't even come off.
Or they just weren't.
Boop.
That's right. I gotta sneeze.
I was like, when you bust, but she keeps sucking. When I asked you, I was like, yeah, how do you think you're gonna? They just do.
Sometimes that happens.
See, which I think you mentioned the Dragon Balls. That would have been good. Hey, we wish to be separated again. Okay, that would have made sense. That would have been better.
Nope. Well, he's got special acid in his stomach.
Oh, it's magic.
It turns into worms. Orthworm.
So they're flying around. Oh no, Boo's flying around rampaging, and he thinks he won, and they're inside him, and it turns out they had a barrier, and they defuse, and then Vegeta crushes the earring. That is true.
Goku's upset.
It's in character, but it is a little frustrating considering the battle is not yet won.
Yes.
So
now they can't fuse. They don't have to fuse anymore.
No more fusing.
So they're not going to be able to beat Boo if they get out.
Now it is canonic. Well, I can't say canonically because this is a filler episode. It is mentioned that the inside of Boo does stink. Who called it 100 episodes ago almost?
This guy.
Well, you also did.
Well, mine was more of like a bacon smell.
Mine was bubblegum, so bacon stinks worse than bubblegum probably.
Bacon and bubblegum together would be...
Here's the thing. You leave a piece of bubblegum on the counter and you leave a piece of bacon on the counter. Eventually, the bacon goes rancid. And it would give you, tell me if you ate it. The bubblegum, I highly, highly doubt.
Raw,
I highly doubt.
I would, no, it's good to eat fermented meat.
It's not fermented. It's just rotting.
Oh. Well, I've seen a guy on TikTok who like puts liver in a fridge for 10 months and then eats it.
Liver King?
No. It's just a different guy.
He puts liver in the fridge. Is salt cured? Is it like in salt?
Nope. It's called, he's got a word for it, but it just turns black and he eats it. I've sometimes TikTok's like, you're going to watch a bunch of videos where grown adults eat a lot of raw meat that's gone bad. I'm gonna try it.
You can eat raw liver, I think. No, I don't know. What are you gonna get worms?
I don't know why.
As we can see.
Anyway, back to Gokozzy and Drixeta.
Yeah, it stinks in there. He said maybe we're by the bowels or something. Their dialogue was so off. Like they were talking. I like them attempting banter, but like it just was like very off.
Yeah.
They're in the stomach. They can't fly. They can't fly now. They can't fly when they're in Drew's stomach.
John Boyega knew they couldn't fly, or knew that they shouldn't be flying. Right?
That was
Or no, he said that they've been flying since the Clone Wars.
Yeah, he did say that.
Good on him.
They fly now. That movie's crazy. I don't want to talk about it right now, but it literally is like, let's go get this item. Let's go get this item. Let's go get this item.
Yeah. What is
and
it?
it's just
MacGuffin.
like they just happen. It's like 4 MacGuffins, and they just happen to just like find them.
Then they find a knife, and then they just happen to stand
They're
in
like,
the perfect spot to.
It's an ancient knife they hold up against the Death Star that crashed there 30 years ago, and it points to the exact spot on the Death Star that has their key. What if they were standing like, I don't know, 100 yards to the right? It wouldn't have been the right spot.
It's also weird because like you need to find something from the Death Star. Like, just go to it, like, and explore the ruins, and you'll find.
No, you need the knife.
Like, if she didn't have the knife, she wouldn't be able to have seen like
Evil Ray. Oh my god. Oh yeah. They don't want to be excreted, or Prince Vegeta does not want to be excreted. He said he kept doing the true saying. Oh, also he said "Great Galaxy" this episode.
Yeah.
Which Supreme Kai said the last episode, and I don't recall any character ever saying that, but I will say it fits Supreme Kai a lot better than it fits Vegeta.
Yeah.
Vegeta said something else that was really weird. Anyway, poopy worm. A worm pops up and it looks like poop, but then it turns out it's a worm.
It's
they're fighting green slime.
Dogs get heartworms in their poop or something. What worms?
My dog had hookworms once
in his poop.
They go. Yes, they go through their paws.
Maybe this. Oh god.
At dog parks.
Maybe this is what this is a hookworm. Because Boo is probably more dog than human.
I think he just ate a human that he turned into cake that had worms, and the worms remained in the cake since he technically transformed the human and not the worms.
I lost you almost immediately.
It's just a worms. Just a poopy worm.
It's just a worm.
That's all I got. It's 3 out of 7 for me. I thought the hijinks were mildly entertaining.
I had a 2 out of 7, but then I gave it a 1 out of 7. But I'm retroactively giving it like a 7 out of 7 for having to... it's just, bless this team for having to work with what Toriyama has done.
Well, okay, Mr. Wise Guy, what do you think is the actual canon thing that's about to happen? So it's canon that they are in there, absorbed, defused. Now what?
I think Boo's going to shit out.
Well, Prince Vegeta said he wants to go out through the top hole.
I think they're going to find... Yeah, don't we all? I think they're going to find... they're going to find their friends, and they're going to have an Avengers moment, and I'm not going to let it win me over.
Avengers moment, like they pull them all out and everyone fights them and they win, and that's it.
It'll be like Vegeta's like left hook coming in, and Goku's like uppercut, and then Krillin will be like and then kick him, and then Tien will be like you gotta watch your feet, and then slide in and kick under his feet, and then Boo does like a backflip, and that'll be the end.
How do you think the series ends? So we're past, assume the Majin Buu saga is over, and now it's like the conclusion of Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah, it's tough because I know that Super. I don't know. I don't think Super gets set up for Z, considering I don't think he had any. Well, maybe he did, but I think
think the perspective of this is he thinks he's ending the series forever.
I think it's just going to be happy endings all around. And I actually, you know what? I think Goku and Vegeta are going to fight.
And you think it's going to end with them
a friendly fight. And it will be okay. They're going to be fighting, going back and forth. Who's going to win? We don't know. They're both beating the crap out of each other. And then okay, here it's time. They're both charging at each other with one big punch or a Kamehameha or something like that. And then the camera's going to pan out, and it's going to be like, you don't get to know.
It's going to pan out and be like, that was Dragon Ball Z. That's it. That's what it's going to say.
Tune into Yu-Gi-Oh! Starting at 9 p.m. Central.
Yes.
On Toonami.
Yes.
And it's that little alien guy in his ship that we all loved.
I don't remember that.
Well, I remember him because I know when he was on, I was maybe 30 minutes to an hour away from an episode of Inuyasha. And Inuyasha, you got to see butts in it sometimes.
But thank you for watching Dragon Ball Speak.
Sorry, you had to watch Dragon Ball Speak and hear us talk about
They liked it.
worst episodes ever. Yeah.
No.
No, they're not the worst.
We don't forget where we came from. Please. The Strangest Robot is the first filler episode we ever watched.
I don't know if Strangest Robot was worse.
I don't think it's worse,
Than
but
what I
there
just
is worse. Mrs. Crab on Namek.
That's a good episode though, and there's lots of character development, and it's critical to the show.
Yeah, Bulma's screaming for 20 minutes.
Thanks everybody.
Thanks.